Welcome to the newest installment of the Untitled Film Nerd Project. My name is Philip, and joining me as always is TJ.
Hello.
We march on with our 5th annual 31 Days of Horror, where we watch a different horror movie every single night in October. We're on October 23rd, and our movie was Halloween, the 2018 one. Before we get into it, spoiler warning now! If you want to avoid spoilers, skip ahead to the time code you see on the screen. And since your movie let out earlier than mine, you were nice enough, yes, to do cast and crew?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Let's hit it.
All right. So this was directed by David Gordon Green, which he also co-wrote it with Danny McBride. David Gordon Green done a lot of TV, couple movies I recognized. He directed Your Highness and Pineapple Express.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Which also, Danny McBride, I believe, also co-wrote those two.
Okay.
Danny McBride, he is best known for Eastbound and Down.
Okay.
And he was in Superbad, and he was in Alien Covenant.
Ah, okay.
Then we have Jamie Lee Curtis. Really doesn't need any introduction. The original Halloween, Halloween 2, H2O, and Halloween Resurrection, I believe.
For those that don't know, she is reprising her role as Laurie Strode.
Yeah. Also The Fog and Terror Train, Prom Night. Numerous other projects.
One of the original Scream Queens.
Yes. Then we have playing Karen, her daughter,
Right.
was Judy Greer. And we know her from Jurassic World, Cursed, Jawbreaker.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see it. Yes, that's where I know her from. Okay, yes.
And Archer.
Yes! I knew her name. Yes.
Yep. And then we have playing Karen's daughter, the granddaughter, Allison. And her name was Andy Matichak. Didn't really recognize her or anything. She's been in one episode of Orange is the New Black.
Oh, okay.
She played somebody called Meadow.
Oh, no shit. Okay, yes. All right.
Then we have The Shape, a.k.a. Michael Myers. And he was played by two different people. One is James Jude Courtney. And a lot of TV shows. I think he just plays a lot of costumed roles.
Okay.
And then Nick Castle.
Which was awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
You recognize the name?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was so fucking cool to bring him back.
Yes.
For those that don't know, Nick Castle was the original Michael Myers.
Oh, and he's also a writer.
Ah, okay.
The Boy Who Could Fly, Escape from New York, numerous other projects. Also director.
Oh.
He directed The Last Starfighter, I believe.
Nick Castle did?
Uh-huh.
Wow, okay. I thought it was cool they brought him back for...
Yes.
That was just really fucking cool.
Dr. Sartan. He was played by Haluk Bilginer.
Okay.
And I didn't recognize him from anything.
Fair.
Officer Hawkins was Will Patton. And he was in The Fourth Kind, Mothman Prophecies, Armageddon, and Copycat.
Okay.
Long cast, by the way.
Oh, I know, yeah. That's why I asked you to do it. 'Cause my show was a little late, and we would have been here for like another hour of me typing it all out.
Dana Haynes, which was one of the podcast interviewees.
Right.
I don't know how to pronounce this one. Rian?
Let me bring it up.
Rhian.
Rianne.
Reese. And another one she only has like 4 roles.
Okay.
And didn't recognize her from anything. The other one of the podcast members is Aaron Corey, which was played by Jefferson Hall. Lots of TV shows such as Game of Thrones, Taboo, and Vikings.
Okay.
Then we have Ray, who was played by Toby Huss, and he was in Venture Brothers, the Martyrs remake, The Invitation, and then King of the Hill and Reno 911.
Okay.
Vicky was Virginia Gardner, and she is in the new Runaways TV show, the Marvel one.
Okay. Right.
And we saw her last in Tell Me How to Die.
Okay.
And then Cameron was Dylan Arnold, and he is currently in the Purge TV series and Nashville.
All right.
I have to watch it again in order to spot her, but apparently one of the teachers was played by PJ Souls.
Oh, really?
Who was, I can't remember the character's name, but it was Laurie Strode's best friend, the blonde one, in the original. It should also be mentioned that executive producer and also score provided by John Carpenter.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
That's cast and crew. Let's get into our initial thoughts. I don't have really initial thoughts. Most of mine is in breakdowns. Because I notated on the way home into my phone, favorite scene, relationship moment, mediocre, etc., etc. So I'll keep this brief. I don't want to get into too much of the other stuff because they're actually in set spots. I'm going to put on the record that Halloween is my least favorite of the
4 major players.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Of the big ones, that's my least favorite. Although I'm one of the few people who loves part 3. I love part 3. And I'm so glad that it was included a little bit in this one. Actually, pretty much something from almost every movie was included somewhere. It was really cool.
Yep.
So while watching this, I mean, I probably haven't seen them nearly as much as you have. But I'm sitting there thinking, TJ has to be loving this fucking movie.
Oh, yeah.
From Jamie Lee Curtis to the cop to the original Michael Myers coming back, the gas station to just other things we'll get into later. Like I said, I don't want to get into too much of it. But there was so much fan service here. It felt like it was written by fans. Overall, I actually really enjoyed it.
Good.
As a direct sequel to 1, it worked. It made sense. I mean, I have nitpicking things. We'll get to a mediocre, but overall, yeah, it was an easy watch. I braved opening weekend, which I have not done since Star Wars Force Awakens, I think. I saw that opening night. I braved the fucking just I hate crowds and I hate people. They're so gross. But yes, other than that, it was a fun watch.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. And yeah, I mean, it was such good fan service.
Yeah.
So good at paying tribute, but not parodying.
Yes, agreed.
Any of the original source material. And yeah, it was just a damn good sequel.
Yeah. Especially for being like, what, part 10 or something? Technically, even though it's technically part 2. Even though I did like Halloween 2, actually more than 1. So...
Same. I've always been a huge fan of Halloween 2.
Okay, I thought I was like on my own little island there. So I know I am with Halloween 3. Like no one else I know likes Halloween 3 as much as I do. All right, so I'm itching to get into breakdowns. Okay, so do you mind if I go first on these? Okay, because I got home a little bit ago and that's all fresh to me. You've been home for a couple hours longer, so I don't know why that makes me more important, but I want to go first this time.
You're giddy.
I am. Yeah, I want to talk about this. All right, I don't have favorite scenes. I have favorite moments. But I'm still going to call it favorite scene. So favorite scene. But this is AKA favorite moments. One was casting Nick Castle to be Michael Myers again. He wasn't Michael Myers the entire time, only for a few scenes. But the dude's fucking 70. That's badass. That's just badass. I loved the old school intro with the font and the title card. Oh, I loved it. It was always great. I really like the way Michael got his mechanic suit back. And the way they filmed the violence around the scene. Instead of having it define the scene until the end. That was so clever. Like when he was beating up the mechanic, you just see it in the background.
And to jump in there, it also pays tribute again to Halloween 1. Halloween 1, there's so much going on around the entire frame that, like, I remember, I think it's the sheriff or Donald Pleasance talking to the sheriff in broad daylight on the street, and Michael Myers is driving around across the street.
Yeah, they did that here too, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's other scenes too where it would just be Michael Myers in the scene somewhere. But like in later sequels, he was just like, it was Michael Myers. He was just like the focus. But here it wasn't. I like that. Like that scene at the gas station when it was like the kills were revealed, it was like, whoa, because we didn't see them. So that was pretty cool. I really like the way he got his knife back with the one continuous shot and the way they filmed it, where he like walks down the driveway, grabs the hammer, hits her, beats her to death off camera, which was awesome. Shot into the kitchen, through the living room, looks at baby, goes out front door, goes back onto the street. That was so fucking cool. I don't know if it was legit one take, but it looked like it, and it was damn impressive. And I know you love this too, Laurie falling off the balcony just like Michael did.
Yes.
And then Michael being distracted, looking back down to see her gone. Just like the end of part 1. I loved it. And I like that it also made him the prey and her the hunter. It flipped the script there, and I liked that. And then later on, she comes out of the shadows towards him like he did to her. So, fucking cool.
And like that moment when she comes out of the shadows, as you mentioned, you know, shot of the movie, that would be my shot of the movie. Where her face just suddenly, the light illuminates her face. And yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm pulling screenshots from the trailer, so hopefully it's there. If it is, it's on the screen now. I love the scene where the daughter is like, "Mommy, help, Mommy!" Gotcha. Bang! I was like, yes! That was so cool. And the kills overall were really, really well done.
Yes.
I said earlier, a few minutes ago, I appreciate them not all being shown on screen. It demonstrated the brutality of Michael, and when they did show things, it meant that much more. But yeah, virtually every single kill I enjoyed. Yeah, those are my major ones. I have minor favorites too. If you don't mind, I'm going to go over those now. Some minor favorites. I appreciated them not showing the bus crash and just having it happen. As it would just happen. I like how they wouldn't show Michael's face completely, just glimpses here and there. And it was really ballsy to introduce him straight away unmasked.
Yes.
As an inmate. I liked Laurie's house pretty much being a fortress to capture Michael. And the idea that it wasn't a cage, it was a trap. Like there was floodlights, the barred doors that fell down from the ceiling, the panic room basement. She had all the guns in the fucking county.
Yeah, Laurie went full Jigsaw.
Oh yeah, like I love a badass. Jamie Lee Curtis just plays a badass so fucking well. Like she's I love Jamie Lee Curtis so much. Am I correct in thinking that the dollhouse was the version of the old house from the first one?
Yes.
Yes, I liked that. And I liked how they included Loomis into the movie with pictures and audio. Thought that was a really nice touch to include him. And then, you know what? As you said during cast and crew, the granddaughter wasn't really a known person. They did that on purpose because they wanted to cast an unknown actress like they did Jamie Lee Curtis in the original. Those were all the major and minor favorites I could think of on the top of my head on the way home from the theater. What do you got?
Same as you. I have moments. First one that comes to mind is John Carpenter's score. And there was one that gave me goosebumps. And that was when Allison had just, her friend had just been murdered. The dude that tried hitting on her. And she's going door to door, banging on doors, trying to get people to open them. And that particular score, like when it was the traditional Halloween score, and then that like deep horn sounding blare would go across, just absolutely chilling. Loved the hell out of that.
I want to add in something there. I liked when it went slow. It was like dun 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 dun, and it would just fade off. Thought that was really cool too. And we bitch about people not doing the smart thing in movies. Like we complained about it in Summer of '84 when the kid was running away from the dude and just ran and stopped in the middle of the fucking alley. And you said during that podcast, go knock on doors, yell. That's exactly what she did. She knocked on doors as she was yelling. I thought TJ would really fucking appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Another one was Michael's pattern once he hit town. That continuous shot that you brought up. Where he goes in, takes the hammer, kills the woman off screen. That was house one. And then he just goes to the next house. and then to the next house.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as he hit Haddonfield, he was just starting at a house and murdering straight down the block.
Yep.
And that was awesome. You know, kind of changed the plot line that was done by all the sequels, with Laura being his sister, and now in this one, she's not his sister. Then what's his motivation? You know, what's driving him? And once he hits town, he just continues doing what he did in the first movie, killing.
Yep.
Loved that. I liked the fact that the cops, as soon as they ran into Lori, there was none of this questioning her or anything. It was just, all right, come on.
Yeah.
You're leading us now. So
Yeah.
And then just, I mean, kind of like what you brought up, like his killings were traditional killing, like from the original movies, but elevated.
Yeah.
Not taken to the extreme like Rob Zombie's. And most of the shock value in the killings this time around were the discovery of the bodies.
A lot of jaw stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of jaw stuff going on.
But, like, you know, he didn't just kill them. He pretzeled them.
Or just mutilated them, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those, and, you know, the one that you had brought up where turning her house into a trap, and then my absolute favorite scene was her face in the shadows.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. What was your holy shit moment?
Holy shit moment, probably gonna have to be when Dr. Sartine died.
Okay.
When Michael Myers just steps on his head and then this crushes it, and then, you know, they show it.
Yeah.
So that probably has to be number one.
Okay.
Holy shit for me.
I have two. One was them actually killing that kid on screen. The theater gasped. Guys, kids are almost always safe.
Which I think that was Michael's first kill for the entire movie. This movie was
on screen, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he killed the guards and stuff first.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the first on-screen kill being like a 12-year-old kid, pretty ballsy. The theater didn't like it. I did.
Yes.
And another holy shit moment was the doctor guy turning heel and killing the sheriff, so he could study Michael and know what it's like to kill someone. I did appreciate his motivations. But I'll get into that more in a minute.
And I kind of can't help but wonder if he was also responsible for Michael's release. Like he did something on the bus, because it just, you know, he insisted on going on the bus.
He also said that he never got to study Michael in his natural habitat, his natural environment, and he wished he had. So yeah, I bet you're onto something there. All right, if any, mediocre moment.
I'm still running my high from seeing it, right. So I can't really think of any at the moment, except for, you know, and I know it served purposes, but Allison's choice in friends, aside from the blonde, the others were just douches.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend and her boyfriend's boyfriend. And
the boyfriend's boyfriend looked like, what's his face from Daredevil?
Foggy Nelson.
Looked like his son.
Which I didn't include him, because he's only recognized him from one other thing, but he was in Stranger Things.
He was?
Yeah, he was, what's his name that we like from Stranger Things? The guy that was in Slice.
Joe Keery?
It was his friend in the second season. But, like, I think he only popped up once or twice.
All right. He looked just like fucking Foggy, though. It was creepy how... I thought it was his son at first. All right, I have several mediocre moments. So strap yourself in. I didn't like the convenient timing of the podcast reporter people. They just so happened to visit the day before he's released, and they bring the mask to motivate him. And I just thought it was an easy out to get his mask back. Then after he escapes, how did he find them? And if they hadn't visited and he planned to escape the whole time, like Laurie said, then what was his method of getting his mask back then? Like I didn't like that. So kind of go on with what you said, the boyfriend subplot going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And was ultimately meaningless, other than him throwing her phone in the cheese dip so that she didn't have her phone.
Because I got up to use the restroom.
Okay.
Did the boyfriend die?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure if that happened while I was gone or not. But yeah, I didn't remember seeing him at all since.
That's the last we saw of him.
Okay.
He got drunk, made out with that other girl, and then she found out, got mad. He turned into a mega fucking douche. That was that. Mm-hmm. It was just the plot device to get so she didn't have her phone. And then I was saving my biggest mediocre moment for last. The so-called post-credit scene annoyed me.
Mm-hmm.
We sat through the whole fucking credits just for that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, to me, it kind of undermined the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I get that they originally wrote this as a 2-part movie that condensed down to one movie, obviously. The writing and directing team have plans to do a sequel already, and if not, round it out to a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
But Laurie was the ultimate badass in this. 40 years of planning, she does all this stuff, and it just undermines it all. Like, how the fuck do you kill him then?
In some ways, I took that ending as a tribute to the ending of Halloween 2.
Okay.
You know, Halloween 2, I mean, he on fire, the room blew up, he comes back, and in this, you know...
On fire.
The house is in fire. And he comes back.
But in this movie, you know, part 2 isn't in canon, so it just made everything Laurie did, the 40 years of her life she spent waiting for that moment. I mean, unless she returns in the sequels knowing that she didn't get the job done. But we'll see how it plays out. Right now, I'm kind of about it, but that's hinging on where it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And the most mediocre moment of the entire movie is Michael not killing the baby. He has no conscience. Why would he not? He just snap his neck, leave.
Mm-hmm.
That pissed me off. I know I sound like a fucking horrible person right now, but the theater was just like, oh, no! And all around me was just people going, no! I was like, yes, do it. Do it, Michael. Kill her, mommy, kill her. Like, do it. And he did. He just looked at the baby and walked out the door. I was like, fuck you. You have no conscience. You're just, it should not matter if that's a baby or not. So those are my mediocre moments.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if any, LOL moment.
Probably some of, well, yeah, not just some, but a lot of the dialogue with the boy and his dad when they discover the inmates on the road. But, you know, the boy is all like, but Dad, I don't want to hunt. I want to dance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's mainly it. Like, I know that there was supposed to be humorous moments with Allison and her boyfriend and his boyfriend, but
yeah.
their douchiness just kind of outshone any humor that they had.
Right. Yeah, it was a little try hard.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the entire theater was cracking up with the entire banter between the babysitter and the kid.
Oh yeah.
That was like the comic relief of the movie. And then when you know, they go to investigate, and the kid's like, "Send him first," meaning the boyfriend that was there. They're just cracked up. So that was mine.
Which I did appreciate. That was pretty much the majority of the main humor in the movie was the boy. It maintained straight up horror, humorless, very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did. All right, now we're going to introduce a new breakdown for your listening viewing pleasure. Favorite kill?
Mine still probably has to be Dr. Sartine.
Mm-hmm.
But also the discovery of, I guess, was the bus driver.
Mm-hmm.
And his body was just kind of folded in half.
Yeah, with his neck completely fucking broke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a few.
Mm-hmm.
As you mentioned, the stomping on the doctor's head was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love towards the end where the two cops were in the front seat and he made one of their heads a jack-o'-lantern.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when Michael Myers gets creative. Like he has time to make you into a jack-o'-lantern or make you into a ghost, which was a callback to, I think, part 2, I believe.
No, part 1.
Oh, was it part 1? Because I knew there was a similar scene with a sheet. And I like lots of callbacks to the first 2, though. Like the boyfriend being stuck onto the wall with a knife.
Yes, that was so nice.
Which is Michael's thing. Choking people by lifting them off the ground. Although, surprisingly, no throat slashes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of his thing. So that kind of shocked me. But this was more about brutal, violent kill.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like twist and crush.
And snap.
Yeah, and contort. But yeah, I probably liked the one with the jack-o'-lantern the best, though, because I thought it was just kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you'd like to add? You want to go to my notes?
I found his character annoying, but still slightly shocked at the fact that they killed off Judy Greer's husband.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, it's just in typical, movie cliche, it would be that he had plot armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was nice to see that he didn't. Plus, he was annoying.
Yeah, he was trying to be cool, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, we had 3 final girls, so
mm-hmm.
It was like generational final girl. That's pretty cool. All right, anything else?
Nope.
All right. Philip's notes are really short. I only have 3 things because most of it was the breakdowns. I read that the original cut of the movie was 2 hours and 15 minutes. I would love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I read that Lee Winnell wanted to play Michael Myers, and I fucking laughed out loud. Lee's adorable, but he's like my height. He's like 5'7".
Yeah, I was like...
No fucking way. Unless you're wearing like drag queen platform shoes,
mm-hmm.
which hey, I would love to see a Lee Winnell doing drag like with platforms, and yeah. Anyway, made me laugh. And overall, 16 people were killed.
Mm-hmm.
James is gonna have a field day with his kill count, so
mm-hmm.
I was very impressed. All right, those are all for my notes. Want to go to final thoughts?
Final thoughts is fun.
Final thoughts? I'll let you take this one since this is your franchise.
Final thoughts are this is full fan service, and if you love horror movies and if you love Halloween, you're gonna love this most likely.
Mm-hmm.
And the anticipation was strong enough to get 2 extremely introverted people out on opening weekend.
Yeah.
And
that's very true.
It was just very nice to see that it was definitely worth all the pre-hype that was going on.
I was worried this was going to be another Nun for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. From my point of view, I dislike the Halloween franchise the most of the big 4, but this was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, I'm not as knowledgeable about Halloween as you are because I keep getting shit confused. And I have seen them all, for the record. But this is well done. This is how you do a reconfiguring. I don't know. It's a reboot of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it made sense. And other than my little mediocre things, it worked. The kills were awesome. Michael Myers felt like he had a purpose. He was going in one straight path.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to find Laurie. They don't explain anything. I thought they were going to for sure have him speak at the end. Because they kept hammering that home. He doesn't speak. I want to hear him speak. What did he say? He didn't. Thank goodness. So if you're not a fan of the Halloween franchise like me, still go check it out. What I know of it, like I really like the first 2. The rest of them, and 3. I don't count 3 as a Halloween movie. But 4 on, not a fan of. But if you're a fan of the first 2 like I am, this movie was made for us.
Mm-hmm.
And much respect to the writer and director team for doing that, because they could have fucked this up.
Especially given their pedigree. They're great at comedy, but...
Pineapple Express to this? Like, Pineapple Express was fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos. So much kudos to go from that kind of comedy to just straight horror with a little moment of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
That worked and did not detract from the movie. All right, well, that takes care of final thoughts. But before we go, as it pertains to Halloween 2018, what did we learn?
I learned that Laurie Strode, 40 years later, she's just as much of a beast as Michael Myers is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that's cool because the like as I said earlier, like the prey became the hunter, and no one stopped for a minute to think that it didn't work because she felt like a legitimate hunter, and Michael felt like he was the hunted. That's how much of a beast, as you said, she is. Like Jamie Lee Curtis is fucking awesome. She's one of my favorite actresses ever, and yeah. I learned that if you have a boy that wants to go to dance class instead of hunting, stop being a masculine tryhard and let him go to fucking dance class.
Yes.
That's what I learned. That wraps up day 23. Thank you for listening. If you've seen Halloween, if you went on open weekend like we did, tell us what you thought of the movie in the comments below. If you're watching this like 2 years from now, still tell us what you thought of the movie in the comments below. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share with your friends or cool people who might dig the Vizcast. And please subscribe to the channel, including hitting that notification bell to stay up to date on the newest content. Speaking of, for day 24, we'll be watching the movie Terrified. This is a TJ find. I know nothing about it, so fingers crossed. So until tomorrow, once again, my name is Philip.
And I'm TJ.
And we'll return then to talk about Terrified. Goodbye.
Bye.